Alright. Lads. I think we're okay. That was a complete palaver. However, I'm getting the nod of approval from the missus. I think we should be in better quality, better standing, and we might even just have a solid frame rate. I just got us some wired internet. Some wired internet. Pristine it is. Let's just put it this way. OBS is usually yelling at me, being like, you're dropping frames, mate. You need to stop. So far on the stream, it's looking like I've dropped 0 frames. 0. We might just have found the solution. And it's a 20-meter Ethernet cable draped across my bed, knotted on the floor, and interfering with my partner's productivity.
Yeah!
Yeah. But it's all worth it for you guys. It's all worth it for you guys. So hopefully we should be okay. And I'm going to hope this becomes the new standard. But we'll just have to wait and see. We will just have to wait and see. While we're here as well, I did also set up... I was trying a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. I was trying a bunch of stuff. One of the things I've set up is a new way to record back through the footage that I've been getting up. So yeah, hopefully it should make making the short form content a little bit easier. The stream is buttery smooth. Oh, isn't that a good thing? Yes. Yeah, we did it. I went and got the Ethernet. I went and sorted out. I went rummaging in my cupboard. I pulled out. It's knotted. Like, I can show you this thing. It's 20 meters long, but this is currently what I'm dealing with. This right here. This is my Ethernet cable. And I'm just dumping it on the floor. Just watch us drop a few frames as I drop that.
Killing my vibe.
And it's killing my partner's vibe, apparently. It is not passing the vibe check, which is unfortunate, but it's a means to an end. I'll pin it up, but I've got to say, just from looking at all the green lights rather than red lights on OBS, it seems like it's going pretty well. Looks like it's doing much, much better. So I might even have a dabble at seeing if I can set up multi-streaming as well, maybe for the next one. Doing it through Restream, I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of a Google or something as to what I can do there, because the latency doing it through Restream was bad. It was really bad. It was really high latency. That was like a good minute latency, which isn't... It's not going to happen. I'm not doing that. But yeah, we should be okay now. Again, like these first few streams, there's always going to be a lot of experimentation, but this seems to be drastically improving things, so I'm really, really happy about that. Really, really happy about that. But yeah, well, while we're here then, I guess we'll just get cracking. We'll jump in, we'll do some game dev, shall we? Ain't that good? Dynam, yet again. Really steady so far on my end. It's looking good on my end as well. Like, it's showing that we've got 0 drop frames, so this is telling me that shit's improved. It's got a lot better. An awful lot better. I just wish turns out I did know about the Ethernet cable when we first moved in, which was in like September? We moved in, I think it was around September. But I just completely forgot. I completely forgot. Because to be fair, the wireless internet has kind of suited my needs for the most part until I started streaming. Or at least it wasn't as noticeable, you know? Because it's not like I'm downloading loads of games and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just never really noticed it. But yeah, this has made a massive, massive improvement by the looks of it. So yeah, I guess with that under, let's get into some game dev. Let's get in there. Let's do some. So in the last stream, which was about 2 seconds ago, I fixed the layering issues. Happy days. There was also a layering issue that I saw with regards to when you unlock this this house right here. So as soon as this loads up, Yeah, most of the time it doesn't really matter how stable the connection is, as long as you make up for the highs with and the lows. Exactly, but with streaming you can't have that. Yeah, precisely. It's just not on. Oh, I didn't even realize I've got options to like make polls and stuff like that. Start a QA on the YouTube side. Oh, that's pretty cool. I could start a live poll. Is stream better? I didn't even realize the hell yeah or nah, fam. There we go. This is the thing I can do. That's fun. That's a fun little interaction. I've never seen that button in my life. Crazy. Crazy. Oh, we got 50-50. Who's saying nah? Who's saying nah? Is it not good? Are things not good for someone? Oh dear. Well, hopefully things will sort out. But here we are. So yeah, there was a bit of a layering issue with regards to this house over here. So if I just give myself a bunch of resources, I'll cheat. I don't care. Spawning this in. When this would get really big, it was actually blocking the house. But I think I've fixed it now, so I'd have to click really fast for you to see the overlay. But it works. In fact, I can just do that. Yeah, so it's always behind now. Which doesn't screw up all the perspective stuff, which is always nice. So, I was doing a bit of thinking yesterday. And I loaded up a bit of Cookie Clicker. Like, let's see how the big boys do it. Let's see how these games really do. And they start with the passive generation first. So, in essence, they would start with the NPCs and then build the houses from that. In essence. So I think that's maybe what we need to do as well. And for me, the easiest thing to do to spawn a bunch of NPCs would be to just have them kind of wandering around for the time being. Right? Have them wandering around. They can go up and down, wherever the hell you want, really. But we're going to need a UI element in order to get that set up and looking good. Yeah, generally speaking, it should be more of an idle game. Exactly. I don't think doubling your clicks should be the first priority. It should be getting some passive income, just so you can get those numbers a bit quicker. And then we can think about some interesting interactivity between everything going on there, right? So, the first thing I want to do is I want to refactor the script that's on these. I want to refactor this, because it's no longer a building script, it's an entity script. Or it's a resource generator, whether it be an NPC, whether it be a building, whether it be something else. It's going to be the base generator. The base generator script instead. So I'll need to come in, I'll just need to go into the scripts and rename that here as well. Let me just copy it because I don't trust myself to spell that correctly. Let's do that. So then we'll have to close down you and open you up again. All right. Now we've got a couple of things in here that I don't really want to be in here. So this is the base script. So only stuff that will definitely apply to anything that will generate resources should be in this. So we'll always need a reference to a resource manager. We'll always need to remove the resource cost whenever it's spawned. So that fact still remains. We don't need this necessarily, and we don't need this, because this is only relevant for buildings, and this is only relevant for NPCs. So we don't need both of these in the script. So we're going to make separate scripts for both of them. So we're going to have now an actual building script, and we're going to have an NPC script as well. NPC. And since we're going to be starting with the NPCs, let's go with that. So we're going to derive this from base generator, so that's going to inherit. So we're going to have access to everything that's in here, all these different timers, which is great. Imagine we've just copied and pasted all that. So we're not going to need this anymore, that is NPC, because, well, we've got a separate script for it, and the timer is going to get moved into the NPC script, like so, along with this. Copy that over, and we'll paste it there. Void update. We don't need to do the if check for his NPC because this is just the NPC script. So happy days. Let's bring that in, tab it out so it looks all neat. Then underscore resource manager, gain resources per second. Okay, so I need this to be a public so we can access it in the others. Don't necessarily want to see it, so we'll just do a cheeky little hide in inspector. There we go. The timer float doesn't need to be in the base anymore, so I think that's fine. You can... is not NPC script. That's something we need to worry about later. This can all go. Get rid of the private. We'll get rid of that for the time being. NPC resource manager gain seconds. That's fine. We can get rid of this for the time being, and then we're gonna need to come in and into the buildings one, and in that we're basically just gonna put this line of code in void start. So you can get rid of that. So everything will do that. So we're going to have to make this a public override, public virtual void. Come into the building, and we'll make this a public override. I'll paste that in there, and we want the base dot start. Start. Why is this? Oh, it's because I put it in. Wait, what? Override base generation. Oh, it's because I put it in awake. Awake, and then that can be base dot awake. Why is that not working? Why is that not working? Oh, base generator. Right. Public override void awake. Oh no, that should be virtual. Public virtual. That's a public virtual start in the building. Public override awake. Why is that not working now? That should be right. Is it literally just because it's... maybe you can't do it for the awake function? Override void start. Oh, it's because it's not even... it's because it's not inheriting from it. That's why. Base generator. There we go. All of a sudden it works. Look at that. Happy days. Get rid of that for the time being. So buildings will update the resource multiplier as soon as they get it. NPCs will start doing a timer. I think that's okay. I think that works for the time being. So in theory now everything in that regard should work. We'll just split everything up a little bit. So let's have a gander. Let's have a play. Everything should basically still work in the exact same way it has. So once we get to 10, Should be able to... Oh, why is the... Oh, yeah. Build position. Building manager, that's fine. House goes in, and we want this to be a... In fact, no, we want all of the houses. Be removed. Remove. All of these should have a building script on them. This is going to cost 10. You'll cost 100. You'll cost 200. You'll be 1, 1, 1. Base generator, that needs to equal 1 by default. And resource manager, resource multiplier equals 1 by default. That's all good. And then the NPCs will have to come along, and we'll have to just change these such that they both have the NPC script on them. Oh, there we go. And they'll both equal 20 and have a 0 on their resource multiplier. Okay. House 1, house 2, house 3. Let's see if that works now. That should be okay. In my predictions. There we go, we've got the house. That has now doubled the multiplier. Oh yeah, I didn't go in and update these, did I? Building manager. NPC 2. Let's drag that back over, I guess. NPC 1. I mean, that should have been fine. Pretty sure that should have been fine. What is it saying I don't have a reference to? Building manager. If resource manager is greater than resource cost. Oh, because it's building script. Dot resource cost. Because it's not the building anymore. I know it is, because it's inheriting from that. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry if I'm not saying stuff in chat. I'm drawing some sprites on my second sheet. No, that's completely fine. I'm glad you're just here anyway. That's completely fine. You lurk away, Dinah. You lurk away. What are you working on? Are you working on the cabinets and the walls? You watching paint dry again? Reducing the moisture content ever so slightly? I'm drawing a computer. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. A full-on desktop. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Okay, so now that I'm inheriting from everything, I'm actually running into an ever so slightly difficult problem. In of the fact that everything is deriving from the base. However, they've got different things here. So, the building manager is usually pulling a reference of the building, and it's fine for that, but now we've also got the NPC script. NPC script that we're pulling from. Makes this a little bit of an issue. I mean, in theory, I could just do this, right? I could just do script. I could just do that. And that does work. NPC. There we go. Oh, why aren't you liking that? Oh, it should be underscore. No, that's incorrect. That's not right at all. Game object.building. There we go. This technically does work. However, there's got to be a cleaner way of doing this. Because if I add multiple different things... Like, granted, this works, right? But I'm sure there's got to be a cleaner way. Come on, hello! How are you doing? What's up? Sorry about all the palaver going on with all the different streams, but I think we've got a good situation going now. So before I had wide internet, I was dropping frames like crazy. But now, do you know what we have? Do you know what we have? We got this. Wired internet. I just shoved a bunch of this into my computer and now it works. So we're loving life and we're dropping 0 frames now. Good stuff. Good stuff. There's got to be a better way of getting these scripts because they both inherit from base building, right? So surely there's got to be a better way or a work around it, right? There's got to be. There's got to be. I'm going to Google this real quick. Let's see if we can find something. Well, let's see if ChatGPT could find this even. Right? Let's see if ChatGPT can do this. So we've got the NPC. So I'll just copy this class. Log in. See what it says. All right. I have this NPC class that inherits from base generator pasted below. Let's paste in this. In the building manager script, both NPC and building inherit from base generator. Is there a way to reference them both at the same time rather than doing this? Alright, so it's given me a couple of options. It's given me a option, basically. And it's using it's saying to use an interface. And then you can just get the get component and children with the generator tag. Which I guess does make sense. And then an generator. Assuming the script is attached to the root of the building game object. I mean, I guess that would work. The generator script. So they can get component from whatever the interface is. I mean, we can give it a quick go. Let's see if it works. This is, after all, the whole point of doing these little projects is to learn things, right? So if I know this works, I mean, I can play this, right? And this is going to be completely fine. So if I play this now, get to my 10, that'll spawn a building. Get to 20, that'll spawn an NPC. As soon as I say that, of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Instantiate. Oh, it's because I'm putting building here. Oh no, that's the game object. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'd have to do Shift Alt or that and do NPC script. So I'd have to do that. And then anytime I add a different type of building here, so it could be like a wishing well that I'll have some other effect, blah, blah, blah. I'd have to extend this or statement, which is kind of why I'm not wanting to do this. There's got to be a much more efficient way of doing this, which I guess the interface would do, but I'm not the most confident with interfaces is the issue. Why is that still not working? If resources underscore building manager. Oh, I'd have to do a null check as well because they can't find this when you're doing it. So I'd have to do a bunch of null checks and everything because this is returning as null. So I'd have to do something like if underscore building script does not equal null, then check this. Like that. Else if that does equal null, it'll move to this, which will check. Oh, this is just a palaver. Yeah, I don't want to do this. Else if underscore NPC script does not equal null, you can then check if resources dot thingy that goes in there. Then you can do this in both of them. And that's else if nothing's showing, then you don't have the resources. Oh no, you can't even do that. That would have to go there and there. And I'd have to add a whole one of these for each different building I add. That's such a palaver. That's not going to happen. Yeah, interfaces would definitely have to be the way to go for this. For sure. Because now I'm almost certain this will work now. Spawn the building, that's fine. Spawn the NPC, yeah, there we go. See, that would work. And that does work. But, my god, I don't want to have to add a whole one of these checks every time I add a new building. That's just not fun. That's a lot. That's an awful lot. So let's try the interface kind of method, right? Let's give it a go. And let's see if we can do this, okay? So, if I remember anything, so let's go into, do I have a scripts folder? Create a little folder called interfaces. And we're going to call this the iGenerator. iGenerator. Like that. We're going to make this an interface. Get rid of that. And then I don't think we actually need anything else in this interface, if I remember correctly. Define common properties or methods here if needed. I don't think we need anything in this. I mean, in theory, you could just go with putting these in there, but no, leave it. Leave that in there. So then we come into this and we do iGenerator. And the building, drive from that and then be an iGenerator as well. So they've both got the iGenerator interface. And then in building, we, instead of doing all of this stuff, like that, we'd basically... So let's comment all of this out as well. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Like, I'm just gonna comment out the whole bloody thing. Because we wouldn't need any of this other than this, anything from this downwards. So we'll do a slash that, and then we'll do a. There we go. That's all been commented out. So let's jump in here and let's give this a whirl. So we're gonna do the void start. Just get our things back in, and then we need a public void on mouse down. Like so. Resource manager still needs to be done. Oh yeah, we need to do a little void awake as well. Void awake. And we'll stick the reference to that in there. And then we're gonna need a private generator called generator. And we'll define what that is. Generator equals find object of type generator. No, because that would this would be attached to the building, so equal building dot get component iGenerator. So this, if it's got a building attached, will pick up this tag and associate this script. If it's this, it'll pick up this tag and do that. Okay. Then in the start function, what did we have in there? Oh, we didn't even have a start function. Never mind. And then on mouse down, yeah, we'd basically do this check only. So resource manager, so it would be underscore generator dot. Oh no. What's ChatGPT saying? Generator script dot resource cost. Get component and children. It says get component and children in children. Don't think that makes much of a difference, does it? No. Does not contain a definition for resource cost. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So would I have to put all the base generation things into this, and instead of having it derive like this and inherit, so instead of having it inheriting, have it just through the interface? Is that what it's saying we have to do? I mean, we can try that. You can do mono behavior, like that. And then set this up in iGenerator. Interfaces cannot contain instance fields. So we can't actually, it can only take in. So that isn't working then. So we can't just do that. Base generator. What's ChatGPT saying? Generator script dot resource cost. But it's not in the generator script. Oh, do I have to, if I put iGenerator on the base generator, iGenerator, and do that? Why is this not working as well now? Find object of type. Why is that not working? Because resource manager is right here. Nothing. I haven't touched this one. Oh. Mono behavior. I don't know how to spell mono behavior. I'm not gonna lie. Mono behavior. There we go. Okay, that does that. iGenerator. Building manager. Still doesn't work. Dot. No. What's it saying? Yes, you can base class or interface for both building. Classes that you can reference in a single variable. In this example, iGenerator is an interface that both building and NPC implement. Building manager references the generator as an iGenerator, allowing it to work with building NPC instances without knowing specific types. The approach is the principle of programming into interfaces rather than concrete implementations. It doesn't allow me to access. Type that in. See what this says now. Can I still do that actually? So building dot get component, and we'll actually do this base generator like that. Is that actually a thing we can do? Well, this would be base generator like that. Like so. Base generator, instantiate the building itself or the generator. I think that should be it actually. So we don't need the I interface at all. So let's just scrap that. So scrap that as well. Buildings got that. NPC base generator. Let's see if that works. Because if this works, this is a hell of a lot cleaner than that. Yeah. So fingers crossed. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. We've already got an error message. Has not been assigned. What's each of these? Oh. Oh, yeah, because I changed the name of everything. Okay. So this is going to be verbs. So this will be 1, 2, 3. And if we go into this, this will be 1. This will be that. Go into you. That'll be that. Okay, let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's see if this happens. We'll go, we'll click a few times, we'll click this, and a house spawns! Yay! Happy days! Happy days! Happy days. It worked. It worked. Nice. Okay. So, yeah, this much nicer than all of that, which basically does the same thing. Bit of an improvement, just a little bit. So let's delete all that again. Okay. And now we don't have to add a bunch of stuff every time that we want. This should automatically work if we add like another thing that does some kind of generating. You know? Okay. Awesome. So we want... That was overwhelming a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised I got that working. Happy days. Happy days. So let's come along and we'll set it up so we can have NPC spawning first. I think, because to be fair, I this was only going to be a short stream. This was only going to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours at a very big push. And because of all the issues that we ran into, I'm going to be ending the stream very soon. I'm not going to lie. To be fair, we don't have many viewers anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, at least now we know the next stream is going to be as smooth as butter. Smooth stuff. So yeah, we'll sort that out. But let's get a little UI element so we can spawn NPCs at the very least before we leave it there, shall we? So we'll open this up, and what's this canvas for? That's the resource counter. So let's rename that. Resource counter. Let's go along and create a new canvas, and we'll call this buttons for the time being. I'll be on a stream without people and just talking chat is incredibly difficult. At least yeah, it's really tricky. To be fair, I don't blame people, to be honest. We had like 8 viewers. We had like, I think we peaked at 10 viewers when I first started. So it would have been fine, but the fact we had to restart the stream not once but twice, I don't really blame people for not sticking around. That was just an incredible waste of time. But it is what it is. It is what it is. To be fair, I just mumble on anyway, just talking about all sorts. I just think out loud, so it's not too big of a deal for me, really. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? So let's set this to scale with screen size. We go 1600 by 900. And again, make sure we're at a 16:9 ratio, which we are. Happy days. Okay, now buttons. We want to add a UI button. Where is button? Button. And let's just do a little zoom out like so. Let's get this so we can actually see what we're doing as well. There we go. We're going to call this spawn NPC. There we are. Look at that. Spawn NPC. And this has got the actual button itself on. So what we're going to do is going to come into art. We'll make ourselves a little square. 2D sprite square. And we'll change the look of that button ever so slightly, just so it's not an ugly little button. Look at that. Happy days. And then we're going to come to here. And we're going to change the text to spawn NPC. Have we got a Fredoka font? Did we set up fonts? We did. Look at that. I'll make it Fredoka bold. Just because it's a nicer looking font. Look at that. Doesn't that just look nicer on your eyes? Come along to this, and then we'll just scale it up a little bit. And where are we gonna pair this to? Let's pair this to the side, like so. Well, you know what? No, we'll stick it at the bottom. Whoa, hello. We'll pair it down here. Just raise it up. There we go. Could probably get away with actually just scaling that back down to like 1.5 maybe. Yeah. There we are. Hello, what we doing? You've probably come at like the worst time because I'm going to be wrapping up very, very soon. Because we've had so many technical difficulties today with getting the stream set up. We're finally there, but what I'm basically doing is I've just refactored a bit of a couple of the scripts here, such that we've got the base generator, which was previously named building, as the kind of base of it all, and both the NPC and buildings inherit from that, just so they've all got their own separate functionality, because all of this was all in base generator, and it was all serving for different things. So we've done a bit of a refactor. And we've decided that instead of spawning the buildings first, which gives you the click multiplier, we're going to make it such that you can spawn a bunch of NPCs first. And those NPCs will then end up living in the houses, and we'll spawn the houses after the fact. So we're just setting up a little spawn NPC button that'll cost X amount of gold or X amount of resources, and you can spawn in a bunch of these, and they'll just kind of drop in randomly. And go with that. Might even add a little wander state, so we might even set up a little bit of an AI on them, just so they wander backwards and forth potentially. But I'm only going to go for a maximum of another half an hour or so. So there is that. There is that. So let's have a look. Spawn NPC. So let's come along, and we're going to make a spawner manager. Spawn manager, and we're going to make a script of the same name. Spawner manager. Happy days. Because ultimately there will be a bunch of different NPCs that we can look into. So we will want to kind of, well, basically decide which one we want. But for now we only have the one, so instead of making it an array, we'll just make it a standalone. So we'll have it as a public game object NPC. NPCs. Like that. Later on, once we have different NPCs, we'll turn that into an array, and we'll get a bunch, and we'll do a little for loop to randomly decide which ones go in and that kind of palaver. But for now, we'll leave it at that. So we're going to come along, and we also need a reference to the button. Public button. Unity engine. We'll add that in, and we'll call that spawner button. And basically, when the button is pressed, we're going to need a function. So we don't need any of this right now. So we'll do a void. It'll have to be a public void, because we need to access it from the button. So it'll be a public void spawn NPC. For now, let's just spawn them in a random position, shall we? So let's add a spawn position. Okay, come down here, and we'll just add the spawn position somewhere arbitrary, like there, for example. Yeah, we'll add that there. So we'll add another public transform. And call that spawn position. Like that. Okay, and when we do that, we want to instantiate NPCs. Or in this case, I guess I should just rename it to NPC because it is just a singular. At the spawn position dot position, spawn position dot rotation. And it's we'll have to do a little check first. So we'll have to do a little check of the resources and the NPC itself. So we will need to avoid start or avoid awake even. Like that. And we'll need a reference to the resource manager. Like this. Because we'll need to do a check that we can actually afford everything. Spawn manager. And this one can actually be private. Because we don't need to access it anywhere else other than the script for the time being anyway. So we'll do a little if check. So we'll do if underscore. Well, it'll actually be which check? It'll be in the building manager check. So it'll be basically this one. Yeah, we'll have to do this check. Resource manager, and instead of doing that, it's going to be NPC dot. Oh, we're gonna need a reference to the NPC script on it. So we're gonna need an NPC. We'll call this NPC script equals NPC dot get component NPC. There we go. And then we're gonna call this the NPC script like that. Gonna check the resource. If the resources that we have is more than the resource cost, then we can instantiate an NPC. And this will just spawn one for the time being. This will just do the one NPC. So that should be fine. So let's get the spawn manager on there. The NPC button, which is this button. The NPC itself, which is the game object. In fact, can I just like search for it? Assets NPC. We'll do that one for the time being. And then the spawn. Oh, I've put this on the wrong bloody thing. Damn it. Let's copy this over. Copy component, remove. Spawn manager, we'll just paste it onto there. Copy component is new. There we are. And then we'll need there's the transform. Tom, hello. Finally made it. Happy days. Happy days. Welcome, welcome. Is this the first time in one of the Lazy T streams? It might just be. It might just be. But yeah, welcome, welcome. We're just working on a little clicker game at the moment. Nothing too taxing. Just doing a little bit of a test. Happy New Year. Exactly. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Oh yeah, I need to assign the actual bloody thing to the button, don't I? That's right. Me wondering why nothing was happening when I pressed the button. Forgetting that. You need to tell the button to do something when you press it. Spawn manager. Game object. No, it's not this. Oh, why isn't that working? It's a public void spawn NPC. Oh dear, what have I done wrong? Spawn NPC is not there. A spawn NPC is not there. Why is that not there? Oh. Did I really just click on the wrong thing again? Did I really remove it from the spawn position and then re-add it to the spawn position? Hilarious. Jesus Christ. My big brain ability really does shock me even sometimes. There we go. Spawn manager. Spawn NPC. There we go. All right, so now when we click the big spawn NPC button, it should spawn an NPC. Okay, it doesn't, but that's because we don't have enough points. If I get myself 20 points, it spawns an NPC. Hell yeah. And because all the functionality for the NPC is already in the NPC itself, it already removes all the stuff afterwards. And there, we've got 2 NPCs. Now there, as long as you keep clicking, they cost 20 each, so we can just keep plugging them in. There we go. We've got all these NPCs, and they're each generating one resource per second. Look at that. Happy days. We did a thing. We did a thing, and we can spawn a bunch more. Because, you know, we like resources. And then we can get a few more in again. Because we've got them all going. Look at this. It's working. It's working. Let's get more in. I want more resources. Yes. So now we're spawning, what, this many resources a second? It's going to add up quickly. It's going to add up very quickly. So I'll have to do some balancing around that for sure at some point. But, like, yeah. More? You want more? We turned the clicker game into how many times can we... Okay, it's spawning them. So fast. So fast. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. How many do we have? How many do we have? In fact, let me just do it like this so I can include them in it. We have a lot. 50. We have 50 of these in. Each all spawning 1 resource a second. We're in the thousands already. The thousands. Oh, this one. Okay, one has declared themselves as the leader. One of them has in fact declared themselves as leader. Quite literally stepping on others. That's not very nice, is it? It's not very nice. Wait, I thought these all had gravity on them. Did I not give them gravity? Is that not a feature that I decided was important? Yeah, they've all got gravity. Why isn't he falling? What? 2. Fall, my friend. I don't know. But yeah, we got it. We did it. We accomplished something. Happy days. So now we've got the spawner NPC. That's all well and good. Yeah. What should we do now? I'll leave it up to you guys. I'll do a little poll here. See if we can get anything. Because we're not gonna be here for that much. C# or VS. I'm using C#. C#. All these things. I'm practicing my coding abilities. Trying to keep things as clean as physically possible. As clean as possible. Every code has every script has one function. One single function. For the most part. So what to do for the final 20 minutes? We've got 20 minutes left. Do I add walk cycle to NPCs, or add multiple NPCs and randomize the selection? Can I and randomize? All right, there we go. Start a little poll. Decide what you want me to do for the last 20 minutes. I should be able to get either one of these done. I should be able to get done like 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. So, dude, which one is the best one? Unity or Unreal? I don't know code depending on... oh, sorry, one second. Let me just... I don't know. I code depending on the blueprint or BS, so I don't know which one is best. Honestly, I think it's... there is no better... There is no best... there is no best engine. It purely just depends on your needs. So you need to think of what kind of games do you want to make, and then look into each of the... Then just look into each of the different game engines and see which one suits your needs better. For me, Unreal... Or for me, Unity is just the go-to choice, right? But it just completely depends on what you need to make as a game. If you wanted to make really good 3D games, I'd probably point you in more of the direction of Unreal. I plan on making a game like Granny for mobile. Well, if you're making mobile games, then you definitely don't need to go for something like Unreal. Unreal's off. I'd say Unreal is just off the table in that case, because it's way too powerful. You don't need something that much. Or you don't need that much at all. So if you're just doing mobile, I'd recommend looking at Game Maker, or Game Maker, Unity, or, to be fair, it probably even make something in Scratch, to be honest, or even Godot. Godot is pretty lightweight for if you're just making mobile games only. But if your two choices right now are Unreal or Unity, and you're going to be making mobile games, go with Unity. I'd still recommend doing a bit of research, looking into the both of them, and kind of making an informed choice yourself. But yeah, just have a look to see what different functions, what options are available for each of them, and go from there. Okay, it looks like we've got a clear decider. We want to add a walk cycle to the NPC, so let's do that. So we're going to add a very simple script, and we'll do the animations first. So I'm going to need to come in. I'm going to have to get the actual assets. So we've got the bearded. Oh, I don't actually have a walk cycle for the bearded man. He only sits there. Amazing. It just so happens to be the only one I don't have a walk cycle for. So I guess we're going to have to change the sprite. So do you want a man in a hat? Do you want an old man? Or do you want a woman? What one of those three are we going to have instead of the bearded man for the time being? Thanks a lot for your opinion. Not a problem. But yeah, I just highly recommend do a little bit of research. Just see what you've got. See what works and go from there. The hat one. This one? The hat man? Alright, let's go for the hat. Merple says hat, so we'll do that. Alrighty, so let's take that. We'll need both the idle and the thingy. Let's go into the arts. We're going to come in here, paste both of them. We'll come in, set that to 32. I'm speedrunning this. Absolutely speedrunning this, because I want to see if I can get it done in the 15-minute time limit that we've got. So we're going to automatic. We don't need... In fact, no, we don't want that. Grid by cell size. This looks like it's probably like 40 across. 38 pixels. 39. Okay, it's 39 by 52. Cool. Awesome. Split that, exit out, and we'll do the same on this. So it'll be 32, multiple, point no filter, no compression apply, sprite editor, slice, and it's going to be the same dimensions. Look at that. He's got a right jolly walk. He's going to be a right, like, jogging around is what he's doing. He's got a spring in his step. All right, so now we've got two little things. So I'll need to come into the prefabs, and we're going to be changing out the beardy. I'm sorry, beardy. You didn't quite make the cut. I do apologize. But we'll come in window, animation. Let's bring that down here. Cool. And it's on the sprite, I do believe. Yeah, it's here. So, gonna get rid of all them. Gonna come into the project. Art idle. Okay. So what I'll actually do is I'll just set that as the default. He lost a bit of weight. Look at that. Good on him. All that walking back and forth. He lost a couple pounds. And then we're going to come in and we're going to select all of these, copy them, animation, and paste them here. Stop. Oh, just one and one there. I'll tell you what, I'll need to put this up here real quick. I forgot that I prefer to have it like this. Let's bring that out, set that to one column. There we go, that makes life a bit easier for everyone, doesn't it? Bring that there, shrink that down a bit. Okay, we'll bring those down. The idle. Okay, and then we'll just want to bring the first one back to the front again. Set that to 60. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring one more over to 90. So he'll just do a little squat every now and again, rather than constantly. So rather than constantly squatting, when he's idle, he'll do a little bop every now and again. Happy days. Okay. So we also need to come in and we need to get the animator tab. Perfect. Bring the NPC there. Bearded man idle. We're going to come in and call that Hatman idle. He looks like he's panting. Literally, just like he's working through a few things. He's got to get all the way from here to here. That's a bit of a trek, you know. It's New Year's. He's a wee bit drunk after last night, you know. He had a good night, so yeah, is what it is. Come in here. We'll rename this to Hatman Idle. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to come in onto this and we're going to create a new clip. And we call this, we're going to animations course, and we call this Hatman Walk. There we are. Save. Okay, and then we're going to drop this down. We'll come along, we'll stick those in. He's going to have an absolute spring in his step. Look at this. He power walking, boys. I think that's even still too fast. So that's like 60. We also need to repeat the first frame. There we go. I think that's a little bit too slow. There we go. That looks all right for a walk animation, I'd say. That looks all right. He's right, Jolly. He's in a good place, isn't he? He's feeling great. All right. So we'll leave that at that. So that's the animation walk. We're going to come in and we're going to make a bool. No, we're not. We're not making another layer. We're coming into parameters. I'm going to make a bool. I'm going to call that is moving. There we go. Okay, now we got to do a bit of scripting. So let's come in and we'll create one. And this is going to be NPC movement. There we go. NPC movement. Who made the background art? That's a good question. I will grab it for you. It's a pack that I found on itch.io. Really, really cool stuff. Let me get my library. Gothic pixel. I haven't got the exact pack, but this is the creator. So if you scroll through their stuff, you'll find this one. It's called Gothic Gothic Tile Map or something or other. He's got quite a few packs on there, so yeah, it's worth checking out. He's got some really good ones, some pretty small size packs, some large scale size ones, but yeah, check out them on itch.io and you'll be able to find this pack. So make a transition. We'll set the has no exit time, 0 fixed duration. Awesome. No worries at all. No worries at all, Diamond. We're going to do the same here. 0. Okay. And we want it to transition to walk if is moving is true. And if is moving is false, we want to transition back to idle. Bro, can you please tell me where to study all versus Unity, bro? Well, there's there's multiple different routes, to be honest. It depends on your learning style. I wouldn't say there's any, like, the best place to do it, but how I personally learned 90% of the stuff I know is literally just watching YouTube videos. Watch a YouTube video on how to make a platformer, a basic platformer, and just follow along a tutorial series. But make sure you're not just copying all the code and just understanding why something is there. If you don't understand a specific thing, so let's say we're going through and you're like, well, I don't know what the void awake does, or I don't know what the private at the front of this does. Go to the Unity documentation and just check what private is. So for example, I'll show you right now. If we go here, Unity private. So let's say I didn't know what private was, and in the tutorial they haven't explained it. I've literally just typed in Unity, private, spelled incorrectly, but it still came up with the right things, public or private, and it will generally just tell you what things, because there will be lots of people that are asked the same kind of questions. So what function, or what does the public or private at the start of at the start or update mean? And you can go through and you'll be able to find the answers. Whether it be on the forum, on Stack Overflow, but generally speaking, I'd just say like platformer, or in your case, because you're wanting to make mobile games, aren't you? Unity mobile game tutorial. Just type that in, stick it on YouTube instead. And here, there's one for Blackthorn Prod. You can't really go wrong with a Blackthorn Prod tutorial. I'm not going to lie to you. Either that or Brackies is always a good place to start. But Blackthorn Prod are brilliant with their tutorials.
Blackthorn Prod.
And they'll basically go through from start to beginning with all the code, what you need to do in Unity, how to set it up, and literally just follow through. And then eventually, once you've watched enough tutorials, you'll get to the point where you don't have to follow along a tutorial and you just kind of know what you're doing. Like even now though, I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years, right? On and off. Like I haven't been like hardcore, like yeah, I make games every day. I've been seriously making games for the past 6 months a year, right? More or less the last year. And over the last year, my skills as a developer have grown massively. And even now, I'm still double checking everything. I'm going to ChatGPT, asking questions every now and again. I'm checking forums and all that kind of stuff. The best part about the thing with being like a game developer, you're always going to be asking questions and you're always going to be learning. So get used to it. Don't see it as a frustrating thing like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Like, you're always going to be learning, no matter how experienced you are. And just accept that, embrace it, and just enjoy the process. Follow some tutorials. Try to go along with it all after the fact, and just, yeah, have fun with it, basically. Cool Squirtle, hello. Hello. Yeah, let's go. So I have to, like, speedrun this component right here, because I am only going to be streaming for another, like, 5 or 10 minutes, so I need to get this walk cycling quickly. So we have the spawner, so let's come into the scene. Let's add this to... We'll add it to this. So we've got the NPC, which is the script, and then the NPC movement we'll also have to add on. Let's open that up. Thanks a lot, dude. You opened my mind to... Man, thanks to the call. Yeah, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. And if you ever have any questions or anything at all, you've always got the Lacey Discord as well. We're always happy to help out there. Send me a DM. Jump onto any streams. I'm more than happy to help if you've got any questions or anything else at all. As long as I know the answers. But again, because I've been doing this for quite a while, even if I don't have the answers, generally speaking, I'll be able to point you in the direction of someone who will have them. Or at least a place that you'll be able to find it. So, yeah, you're more than welcome, dude. You are more than welcome. So what do we need here for this movement script? So we're going to need a public float speed. We're going to need a reference to the animator. So we'll do a private animator underscore animator, like so. We'll just do that in the awake straight away. We'll just assign that just so I don't forget. So underscore animator. Why is that gone to that? Why I spelled that wrong? Must have equals get component in children animator, because as you see for this NPC, the animator isn't actually on the main component. It's within his, which is where the art is. So we need to make sure we're doing get component in children, because this is the parent, this is the child. That it's a child object, so we need to get it from the child animator. And we're going to do a quick check here. So if we need a rigid body as well. Jesus. Private rigid body 2D underscore RB. I'm going to do underscore RB dot get component rigid body. And the reason we're doing get component rigid body instead of get component here is because the rigid body is actually on the main component, because that's where the box collider is. Underscore RB dot rigid RB dot velocity is greater than or equal to 0. Oh no, dot x is greater than or equal to 0. Then we're going to do underscore animate underscore animate. You know, I'm just going to call this anim. It's just causing problems. Anim dot set bool is moving to true, like such. I wish I understood coding because I can't tell what's happening. I mean, if you've got any questions at all, I'll try and like explain things as I'm going. But I'm basically just trying to set up a basic movement script at the moment. But yep, so we've got a bool on this NPC here. If we go to our animator tab, we've basically got a condition here, a boolean, which is either a true or a false thing. It's either is moving or it isn't is moving. And we've got a different animation, an idle animation where he's just standing still, and a walk animation where he's walking. And we're basically saying if is moving is true. So if this is ticked, then change the animation so it's playing the walk. And then if the bool, so if this is unticked, so it's false, is moving is true, go back to the standing still. And now what we're doing here is we've got a reference to the animator. So we're basically saying, okay, let's check this animator, this whole component here. And we're checking, or we're setting the bool so we're setting the bool, this is moving, to true if the velocity of the character is greater than 0. So basically, if it is moving, because it is moving across on the x-axis, then set the animation to true. So it'll play the animation as it's walking. Else, so if it isn't true, so if this condition isn't met, else we're going to set the bool to false. But spelled correctly, false. So if and when I say the entire thing, so basically I'll be applying movement to this. So it's basically detecting if this is moving in any direction on the x-axis, this way, then set that bool to true, which will trigger it to play the walking animation. And if it's stopped, so it's not moving, we're going to deselect this, so set it to false, which will trigger this to play the idle animation again. And now the only thing to do is actually make it move. So what I'll do, just for argument's sake, because I'm not going to set up a whole for loop right now, because I'm gonna call it quits with the stream in just a moment. But I'll do a public bool make me move, and I'll just do a little check here. So if make me move is true, and this is basically the same as doing this, right? Make me move is equal to true, but you can shorthand it by just having make me move. And if you want it to say if it isn't equal to true, you can put an exclamation mark at the front. But if make me move is true, then rb.velocity equals vector2.right. So, in theory, when I press play, the character will be doing absolutely nothing. It'll be playing this little idle animation. Ah, look at that. It's broken already. Has it got some kind of movement going? What's going on? Info. Oh, it's moving ever so slightly. But basically, I can make him. Welcome to game development, folks. Welcome to the game development. Let's just constrain him so he can't move like that. There we go. All right, we've got him idling. In theory, when it's set to 10 or whatever. There we go. When he's moving like that, in theory, that walking animation should play. And if I untick that and he stops, he'd do that. But that's not working. So what we'll do is we'll just set this to a really low number. You know, because there's very microscopic movements happening right now on the very small level, which is basically, so if it's equal, greater than or equal to 0, it's a bit too close of a thing. So he's going to be idle whole time. Awesome. And now if I tick this box, which is basically a little thing I've put in place to force him to move, he starts playing the walk animation. And if I untick it, he goes back to the idle. Tick it. He starts moving again. There we go. And if I stop, there we go. Awesome. I think we've got a little thing on the looping set up incorrectly, though. Is that... Yeah, has exit time. There we go. That's why that was... That's why it was being delayed a little bit. It was basically waiting for the animation to finish. So now, when I tick this, you should start walking instantly and stop instantly. There we go. I can now force him to move, and when he does move, he's playing a little walk animation. Happy days. Now, in the next stream, what I'll be doing is I'll basically setting it up such that he'll do this automatically. So we'll make him move on his own. We'll give him some predetermined places to walk to and walk between and all that kind of stuff. But for now, we've technically done it. We've got it all sorted. There's been a couple of comments and I've been a bit preoccupied getting this sorted, so I'll just quickly fly through things. Yeah, the entry might seem difficult, but trying to get into Python is a great way to learn how to code, learn how the code is formatted. Yeah, I agree. Like, again, depending on what you're wanting to do. If you want to work on games really quickly, and Python is an easier programming language to learn than C#. Now, one of the good things is, instead of having to learn both, so learning Python, learning to code, and then moving to C# to go in Unity, you could just go and learn Godot, right? Godot is a very good entry point for game developers. It's pretty simple to pick up, very lightweight of an engine, and their own built-in programming language, GDScript, is basically derived from Python. So it's going to be a bit easier to learn than C#. Plus, with the whole Unity drama that went on, there's been a lot more effort put into making C# compatible in Godot as well. So, yeah, if you're getting into it and you want just an easy way to kind of get into learning kind of game engines, make some very easy, simple games, which is what you should be doing when you're starting anyway, making very small, simple games, I'd maybe recommend Godot. Because then you can learn Python, which is essentially GDScript. There's a lot of help out there to help you learn GDScript as well. And the thing with game engines is most of them they're all pretty much the same. They've all got like similar learning patterns. Like once you've learned one game engine, you can learn another pretty quickly. Like they are quite different. There's a lot of differences, but they're more or less the same kind of thing. They'll offer different things here and there, but yeah, generally there's a lot of crossover. But yeah, that's how I learned to. I start with Python. I actually jumped straight into C. I actually started with C++. I did it the complete wrong way around. Like I started with the like horrible stuff. I started learning assembly and C++. So yeah. No, don't do what I did. Yeah, starting with Python is a really good option, and if you want to still make games while learning Python, I'd recommend having a look at Godot, because that'll be a good way. Actual sociopath or psychopath, yeah, literally, exactly. I did a whole roller coaster tycoon. Let's have a look. And once you know how it's written, it's great. It's a way to set up and start learning other languages. Yeah, exactly. If you want to learn game dev, maybe if you want to start simple, a bit easier, go with Python, because you can make little scripts. You don't even have to. You can apply Python to outside stuff as well. You can just make little programs that do funky things on your PC. It can be a lot of fun. When's the next stream? I have no idea. I wasn't even planning to do this one. I decided last minute to kind of rock up and do it, and we had a load of issues with the setting up of the internet. So I've literally, I'll show you this earlier. The last few streams I've been using wireless internet, but now I've got this, which is my wired Ethernet cable that I'm going to be spending the next half an hour of my life detangling and pinning up to the wall so it's not just a massive cluster on the floor. So that's going to be fun. But the next stream, I have no idea. It might be sometime midweek. It could be at the weekend. I'm not going to give any guarantees, but the best place to know or get a reminder, you can either hit the notification bell on YouTube to get a notification, or if you're in the Discord, I'll always do a little @ in the Discord and let you know when I'm going to be streaming a little bit in advance. But I'd imagine it'll be within the week, most likely. Have you made a trailer for the game yet? Technically, yes. But also no. There is one on the YouTube channel, under videos. It's a Kickstarter trailer. It was one that, because in May of last year I released a Kickstarter for Amber's Tale. It didn't go through successfully. We did fail the Kickstarter, which is fine, because it was more I was more just throwing it out there, wishing for all sorts, but you know, it didn't happen, which is fine. But I did make a little trailer for the game then. It's very outdated now, I will say. The game looks completely different and it plays completely different, so it's not an accurate representation of what the game is going to be. But I'm hoping to get another demo out in the next couple months, so hopefully you'll be able to actually play the game a little bit, if all goes well. Lol, good luck with the wires. Yeah, I'm gonna need it. It's 20 meters and it's very tangled, so yeah, here we are. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the stream there. I think it's been reasonably successful. We've got a little character moving around. Look at that. We can even spawn more of them. And we can have them all walking, or just not walking, and it's good stuff. Happy days. In fact, I could come over here and just have them all. Ah, they don't all have the script on. Never mind. But yeah, I'll leave it there. It's been a pretty good stream, all things considered, with all the technical difficulties we had. But still, we got there in the end. So thank you all for joining, and I shall catch you all very, very soon. And have a lovely new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.